Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Wizard 101 for us old folks. So, today we're going to go into Ravenwood, look around there a little bit, and we're going to talk a little bit about our dorm room. Also, going to get into our bank, and we're going to talk a little bit about the statistics and things of the clothing that you wear and that are on your pets and whatnot to help you play the game. So let's start out by going to our dorm room, which happens to be in Ravenwood. What you'll do down here, you'll see a little go home button. Just click on that. Now we're at our dorm room, and you can see I have a few things that I have put on the walls. Some wands, and I've put in a desk and a couple of pictures. And the dorm room comes with 2 pots that you can do your first plantings in when you get to gardening. Now, if you have bought a different house at that point in time, of course, you don't have to do that there. You can do that on the land, but they are there if you're just going to stick with your dorm room. Now, this is our bank. I want to talk just a little bit about the bank itself. If you'll push X, your bank comes up. Now, you have 3 options here. You have your bank, you have your backpack, and you have your shared bank. The reason that the shared bank is important is in case you make other wizards. When I first load up my wizard game, I have 5 wizards on this account. So the shared bank allows me to put things into it that my other wizards may want to use at one point in time or another, and your other wizards can get into the shared bank and take out whatever you put in. Now, that does not work with 2 different accounts. That's only on one account within the wizards that you make for that account. So if you have 2 accounts, the only thing that you could share back and forth would be your treasure cards. You can do a hatch with each other, just like you would anybody else in the game. You would not have access to this bank on another account. So, but for this account, you can definitely go in and you could pull out something from here if you thought it would be good for this wizard or for your other wizards to go in, whatnot. And it has all of the same objects that are in your backpack. It also has things that you can put in there from the housing. And you can actually put in reagents and snacks. So a lot of people will only garden on one of their wizards, and that way they can take all of their snacks, throw it into the shared bank, and each of the other wizards can pull those snacks out to use them for their pets and whatnot. Personally, I have a garden on several different wizards because I like to garden for different things. So I'll garden on different wizards and still use the shared bank as needed. Now, your bank itself will also have the same objects as your backpack, but it only has housing objects or equipment objects, and this is when people say equipment, this is what they are referring to. But it will hold pets and it will hold mounts as well, so that's nice. Now, let's talk a little bit about what to wear. So, the whole idea is to get your wizard to a point where he or she could hit for really big amounts to be able to take out bosses and things. So, let me show you. If you go up here where it says character, this is in your spell book, this brings up a screen that shows you your statistics. So it says that this character is a level 10 initiate necromancer, meaning in the death school. This is how much health I have, and you see the little square that's brought up here? That square shows you where I'm getting all that health from. So the hat that I'm wearing is adding some health. The boots that I'm wearing is adding some health. The robe that I'm wearing is adding some health. And even a ring that I have put on and my weapon is adding some health. For mana, I have 112. I'm actually getting some extra mana from the ring I'm wearing and from my weapon. Experience just shows how much you've got so far. I have 3 training points. I have 61,000 gold out of 300,000. You see that right here. How many crowns I have. Arena tickets. The amount of energy I have. That's this green globe down here. When I'll get more energy, if I had used some of this energy, you use energy when you're raising pets or gardening. And so if I had used this, this would tell me when I would get some more going in there. Now on this side, it's showing your statistics as to your hitting. So for damage, I have my base rate, and then I have added 4% from the boots that I'm wearing. So it would be my base hit plus 4% damage because of those boots. My resistance, so if the bad guys hit me, how do I block it and how much blocking can I get? I have my base rate plus I have 1% from my robe. I think that's my robe it's talking about, and 2% from the hat that I am wearing. So I have 3% total. Accuracy, I don't have anything extra. If you are a storm school or a fire school, you're going to want to try to get some extra accuracy because they fizzle a lot. But being death and balance, they don't fizzle as much. They'll still fizzle on occasion. Even life doesn't fizzle quite as much. So, but storm definitely fizzles a lot, and fire will fizzle. So you'll want some accuracy there. Now, if you go up here to this second button, this will show your critical and your block and armor. Now, critical rating is important as you get a little higher up. I believe the game starts giving you criticals when you're in like level 50, somewhere in there. And so you'll start seeing that on the clothing that you wear. Your block rating is when the bad guys throw a spell that is critical, and you want to block that so you don't get hit with as high of a hit. And of course, we'll talk more about critical and blocking and whatnot in a later video. And then armor piercing is being able to get through their number of resistance here. And stun resistance, I have 1% stun resistance because some bad guys will hit you with a stun spell, which will make you stand still for a full round or more, depending on what the spell is. And then healing in and out simply means when you throw a healing spell, how much extra healing you will get from that, or how much extra healing you will send out. Activities, this will just break down your crafting and your gardening, and you can see you can start crafting at level 3. You can start gardening at level 12. Badges, the badges will show up here. All these squares, you'll end up with pages of badges right here, just whenever you earn certain quests completed, you'll get certain badges for that. PvP and derby ratings. So PvP is player versus player, and we'll talk a little bit more about that at a different time. But there are games where you you could go in, say you could go in and your son could go in and y'all could battle each other. Or you could go in with a friend of yours and battle each other, and that's PvP. Now, they also have random PvP matches where you go in and they will assign you someone else that has signed up, and you try to beat each other in the PvP ring. Derby matches, those are a lot of fun. They're actually pet races for your pets, and they do allow you to feed your pets 2 snacks instead of 1, so that's a lot of fun, and we will get into that at a later video when we talk about our pets. Time slots. So time slots refer to crafting. When you start crafting, you will be using crafting tables. When you craft something, those tables require certain amounts of time to cool down before you can craft something else, and that's what this will refer to. So there's a lot that goes on here. I was going to show you over here. This is on your critical page. If you go down here to the arrow, there is a second page talking about pip conversions, power pips, and shadow pip bonus. Now, you won't be using the shadow or the pip conversion till you're much farther along. But the power pips you will be using pretty early on. And if you have an additional rating in here, you can see it starts with a 10% base. And then I have added 2% in the boots that I am wearing. So I have a 12% chance of getting a power pip instead of a single pip. Now, if you went through the tutorial when you first joined the game, he would have told you, Merle Ambrose would have told you that you are assigned pips with every round of your fighting. And the white pips are the regular pips, but if you earn a power pip, that's a yellow. Okay, so now let's talk about the clothing and how that will increase your statistics. So the hat that I am wearing, for instance, gives me an extra 120 max life. That pink globe you see is just like the pink globe on your screen for your character. So that means it's going to add an additional 120 max life. The plus 2% with the little shield, that means that you're going to be adding 2% to your resistance. So that's really good. This particular hat also gives me an extra spell card that I can use in my spell deck. My spell deck, of course, is, let me show you right quick. When you click on your book, you go to your deck, and this shows you all the spells that you have. So right here is that extra spell. These are all spells that will stay with you each and every time unless you don't want one. If you don't want one, all you have to do is click on it and you'll see an X comes on it, and then it won't come up in your deck to be played any longer. Okay, so let's go back here. Not all of the items that you get will have extra things available. Like the enchanter is actually, if you click on that, you'll see it's just a hairstyle, a wig, what I call a wig that you get. You can get it from the crown shop, or it could be dropped from different bosses. But you see, it does not have any of the extra statistics with it. So that would be one that you would want to go and stitch with a hat that you may not like the design, but you like the statistics. And you can see that like this one has strength statistics. Let's go over here to the robes. The robe I'm wearing has life, has 1% shield, 3% extra incoming health, and 1% stun block. So that's a really good robe. If I'd wanted to go with this one, I'd have 176 extra life and 6% shield. That's a really good shield. And you just start looking at everything that you have to see which one is going to work the best for you. Now, when you first start playing the game, you probably won't have all of these things yet. Where to get those would be if you did, if you go to cards, these are the packs, and it starts with the items that are recommended for your particular wizard. That's kind of fun. This is the new pack that we've been playing with, the Decaversary Horde pack. So I'm going to buy one just to show you, and it doesn't mean that I'll actually get a piece of clothing or equipment. I got a plant, I got a snack, I got a housing student, a haunted theme, doom and gloom. That's a spell card, treasure card. That's a reagent, and some snapdragons. So I didn't get any this time, but sometimes you will get these type of equipment items. So that's where a lot of these have come from, opening packs. You can also get equipment items from the battles that you do day to day. Now I will show you, let's see. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about wands. When you first start out, you'll be given a wand, and it's just a simple little wand. But as you do battles, you will gain other wands. The one that I am wearing is this Glinting Dragon Lance wand. Now, I have actually stitched it with a little bow and arrow that I liked. So that's not originally what it looked like. But the statistics came with an extra card. You see that card that says strong? That is a card that when it comes up in my deck, I can click on that card and then click on a hit card, and it will boost it by that 123. So that's a very good card to have, especially when you're fighting a boss. What you won't be having when you first start is an athame. You can get these from drops. You can buy these at the bazaar. I really do suggest that you put an athame on your character because look, this athame gives me an extra 52 life and an extra 42 mana, which gives me a lot more times to hit before I have to go chasing those blue wisps. You will not be wearing an amulet, so I always go to the bazaar and buy an amulet for my characters. You will not be wearing a ring, so I usually buy those at the bazaar as well, though sometimes bosses and the people that you fight in the street will give you rings. And you're going to be crafting some too. Pets. When you first start out, you're not going to have a pet. That will come to you, I believe, around level 7. You'll get your first pet, and you can see what's been floating around here is that little pink piggle. He's the first pet that I believe we get, and they are cute. But I had some pets from my other characters, so I put that one on. Now, I will say that what's nice about pets is that they also will help your character out. My Harpy gives me a couple of different spell cards, and she can cast on her own a Spirit Blade. She can also cast a Healing Current spell, which would heal me if I was getting real low. She might do that. Now it's random. And there are pets that give statistics, like this one gives 3% strength to your character and 5% balance targeting. Now that's accuracy, so that would mean I would have an extra 5% chance of not fizzling. This one also may cast a fairy spell to heal me, and it might cast a spirit shield spell. So pets are a wonderful thing to have, and we're going to get into more detail with pets later on in a different video. Even your mounts that you have, certain mounts will give you extra statistics to make your wizards better. Now, I don't have any of them on this wizard, but there are mounts that will say plus 2% strength or something like that. These mounts have the little wing symbol. That's how fast it will go, how extra fast it will go. And then the decks are your last thing, and your decks when you're first starting out, don't give you anything extra, but as you get on higher in the levels, your decks will also give you different statistics to add to your wizard to watch for. Okay, whew, that was an awful lot talking about the dorm room itself and talking about the bank. That took a lot of time. I'm going to run right out here. If you go outside your dorm room door, you'll notice that it always places you in Ravenwood itself, which is the home of all of the different schools. Now we're going to go into more detail about the different schools and how to choose which school you most would probably like at a later video. To be honest, all the schools are fabulous. It's just going to depend on whether you want a school that hits harder but has less life, or has more life but doesn't hit as well. Okay, guys, that's it for this video. Be sure if you have any questions that you drop them down below in the comment box, and share this video with others so that they can see how to play Wizard 101 and we can get a wonderful community of us old folks going. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.